Apple Computer CEO Steve Jobs was treated like a rock star as he unveiled the long-awaited iPhone this week, and faithful Mac fans flocked to Moscone Center. Thousands of Mac users, young and old, weathered cold winds to see the latest line of Apple products at the Macworld Convention, downtown San Francisco. Meanwhile, on Wall Street, Apple stock set record highs. So, David Sparks, from the reception that he received this week, you would think that these Apple fans did not know that Steve Jobs was being investigated in a stock.
Nor did they care.
Problem.
They didn't care at all. No, you know, he does always put on a great show, and this product, the iPhone, was the most hotly anticipated product in technology that I've known about for years. And at the same time, he over-delivered beyond what anybody expected. He truly did. I mean, the interface of this device is so impressive, so over the top, what we all expected. And what's actually, I think, kind of funny is that supposedly Steve Jobs created some fake devices to show to Singular and to employees within Apple to kind of throw them off the trail what the real device was going to look like.
Well, now, what is so valuable about this that they can launch it at about $500 per iPhone?
Well, that's a good question. I'll say this. It's a very impressive device in overwhelming, and that it combines the iPod being an internet communicator, he says, and a phone together. It'll be interesting to see if he can sell this phone for $500 to $600 with a 2-year contract. That's what they're saying now. We'll see what happens in June when you officially can buy it. There is a critical flaw with this device. It runs on something known as the Edge network, which is part of Singular. And the Edge network is about the data throughput through this network. It's about twice as fast, if you remember dial-up modems, you know, back then. Well, if you're locked into a 2-year contract for a very slow data service, which, by the way, there are many data services out there now that are much faster, you're going to be kind of annoyed.
I was going to say, David, because I've been hearing, because I confess, I'm an iPod person. I want one, you know. I mean, I guess I bought into the hype, but at the same time, I was hearing about another device that came out this week at the show in Vegas, which I guess he was trying to upstage somehow, that almost runs on the data network, you know, the Nokia thing, you know what I'm talking about at all? And I just wondered, you know, I had heard this whole thing that perhaps the iPhone could get outdated very quickly because it's still using cell phone technology to surf the internet.
Well, I'm not 100% sure with that product. I think it's probably a voice over IP product, right, is what you're talking about. And yeah, it is outdated because it's on a slow network, but what's so impressive about it is the interface. It is a really impressive interface. Although it is an internet communicator device, and the #1 application, the killer application for handheld devices is email. Well, the two main devices out there, the Trio and the BlackBerry, you can type out rather quickly with it. The way they were demonstrating how you type with this iPhone, you use one finger on the pad, where these others, you get 2 fingers. So will enterprises pick this up as an email tool? Probably not, unless someone figures out a faster way to actually type in emails.
Well, this thing has already attracted its own lawsuit, right?
Yes.
You know, Apple may have I as one of their sort of trademarks, or at least in the popular mind, but there's another company out there that came to iPhone first.
Right. Well, Cisco technically owns the trademark of iPhone. They bought a company called InfoGear, which actually trademarked iPhone back in '96. They bought them in 2000, so they've technically had it. And supposedly, Apple was playing along with Cisco up until Monday, the day before they released the iPhone, saying that they were going to, quote, share the trademark. And Steve Jobs sharing anything is kind of a fallacy. I don't see that actually happening. But the question is, what will happen in this lawsuit? I don't know. Will Jobs' sheer audacity surpass all of this?
How does Apple do it, though? I mean, the iMac, the iPod, now the iPhone. What is it that they do that other companies aren't able to do?
I will just say the one title, user interface. The user interface of the iPod.
Means what? It means that it's easy to use?
I was going to ask you, for a person who does not own an iPod,
yes,
can't use a BlackBerry, why should I get excited about this? What is it? How's it going to change my life?
Something by your children.
Your life. It's not going to change your life. There are people who become such fanatics of the Mac because of this really impressive user interface. And really, the iPod, I remember when I first picked it up, I learned it in less than 30 seconds. Now, I may be more of a techie than you are.
You definitely are.
But it's really, with every cell phone that comes out, they are trying to find a new, easier way for you to use it. And he comes out with this device that everybody, as he's showing all these different things like the pinch technology, where you just open your fingers or close it and it causes a photo to expand or shrink, or even on a web page, that simple gesture, you don't actually have to learn a button combination, which is what you normally have to do on any other device. And that's why people are just really impressed with what Apple does in general.
And the crowd ate it up, huh?
Oh, they ate it. You know what? I was watching it at the show, and I had seen it demonstrated online, but when I saw all the different things that it can do at the show, it really is unbelievably impressive.
I'll take your word for it. Yes. Thank you so much, David.